What you want to say versus what people want to hear. This simple binary is at the heart of more than you know. In many ways, it's the defining feature of not only our time, but arguably human society as a whole. What you may not realize is that you've heard variations on this theme manifested in at least 3 different ways. So I'm going to focus on these 3 ways that the dilemma presents itself in your everyday life, with thoughts on how this concept can help you in your life's work if you understand it, and how it can get in your way if you don't. This piece is for creatives, artists, entrepreneurs, writers, and humans trying to make a decent living in our digital world. Today's talk on what you want to say versus what people want to hear is brought to you by Fred's Crappin' Snack. Tired of getting gas from the come and go? Well, come and go no more with Fred's Crappin' Snack, just off Arapahoe Road on Emporia Street, 1/2 mile east of I-25. But first, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and do all those things that obnoxious people keep yelling at you to do. I promise I will appreciate it, so let's jump in. Here are the 3 different takes in this piece. What you want to make versus what people want to buy, aka entrepreneurship. What you want to write versus what people are searching for, aka SEO or search engine optimization. What you want to say versus what works, aka advertising or marketing. I hope the wheels in the hamster cage are already spinning just hearing these, but in case they aren't, let's get rolling with part 1, what you want to make versus what people want to buy, aka entrepreneurship. The iconic line from Field of Dreams is, "If you build it, they will come." And for some of my podcast guests, this has proven to be true. Sharon Rowe thought this as she built eco bags, helping create the shift from single-use plastic bags to more sustainable alternatives, dating all the way back to 1989. For some entrepreneurs, this method has worked out, but you won't find it in any modern business book. Instead, if you listen to Silicon Valley types like LinkedIn's Reid Hoffman or Peter Thiel, you'll much more frequently hear something along the lines of, "If you're happy with your product, you shipped it too late." Or put another way, you need to validate your idea before you waste time and resources creating what could be a bad product market fit. And another of my podcast guests, wonderkind Ben Stern of Nobo and Shark Tank fame, has wildly succeeded before the age of 20 by doing the exact opposite. He got an investment from billionaire Mark Cuban, and he sold his product before he ever created a single thing. He even patented his product before he even knew if it would work. Obviously, this way is generally considered the right way in startup land. Making sure there's demand for your product or service before you start is clearly good business. So today's theme shows up anytime you feel deeply that you should make a bakery because you like making cupcakes, even though your small town already has 4 bakeries right next to each other on Main Street. There can be tension between what you want to make and what people want to buy. If you don't validate your idea, you run 2 risks. One is that the target audience for what you're doing is so small as to be insignificant, which is true in my case. The other is that the target audience is already oversaturated with many competitors in what is called a red ocean from the famous business book Blue Ocean Strategy. Now, obviously, just as there are Michaels Jordan and Tigers Wood, there will always be a chosen few unicorns on this planet for whom what they wanted to do coincidentally lined up exactly with what the world wanted. These are your breakaway successes, your young billionaires, your diamonds in the rough. But needless to say, this is rarer than a steak cooked on an engine at a tailgate party. So let's table this for a second as we dance into the next version of this dilemma, part 2. What you want to write versus what people are searching for, aka SEO or search engine optimization, or the world of algorithms, if you like. If you knew the statistics on blogs in the world today, you'd never write a single word. Millions and millions of words are blasted onto the internet each day without nearly enough readers. There's no shortage of content of any kind. And that's one of the reasons that if you've made it this far in this video, you're surely an anomaly. Did I mention that you should subscribe, by the way? Because you should. You're what we call an engaged consumer right now, so I need you in my life, desperately. Please don't leave me. I'll tell you a joke. Okay, where's the best place to bury a dead body? In the middle of a blog post. That's a shameful appropriation of an old SEO joke, so let's move on. The point is this. Google decides what you see and what you consume to a shocking degree. When you search for something, they show you the top 10 results of either web articles or videos, and statistically, you click on the first 3 or ignore all the rest. The 182,644,000 rest, to be exact. Google, Facebook, and TikTok algorithms shape what you see or don't see to an insane degree. But how can you give them what they want as a creator? Well, they want money and they want to improve. So you can either pay for ads, their core business, or you can improve their platforms. If there's never been an article written on how to cook a vegan steak on a radiator at a tailgate party and you write that, Google will reward you with organic search rankings. You have improved their search results by filling in the gaps of their knowledge, so to speak. So in short, algorithms never reward what you want to say, or what comes from your heart, or what you really feel. They only reward what benefits them. So if you want to write about cooking and there are 10 billion other cooking blogs out there doing the same thing, good luck. It's not impossible to win, but a hearty good luck to you indeed. Again, if what you want to make just happens to be a gap in what TikTok is missing, then you will succeed wildly without any extra thought. Far more likely is that you will need to study how these algorithms work if you ever want someone to see your content. For my clients, this is what I do with my marketing company. When I wear my marketing hat, I look at the data. This is how I grow my clients' businesses. But I haven't done it yet personally for me and my channel because I still believe in this thing called personal expression. I still admire great thinkers like Stoic philosophers and Mark Twain. I still love creating for creating's sake, even knowing that it won't be rewarded by the algorithm gods. This piece, hardly something that any algorithm will reward, but I find it interesting to think about, so I wrote about it and I'm talking about it. We can make that choice in our own lives and art, but we must understand that this is a choice that we are making. If you want to be seen above all and you don't care how it happens, then focus all of your energy on search engine optimization or defeating the Facebook algorithm with 10 shocking facts that will make you break up with your girlfriend right now. You can do it, but it might feel a little dirty depending on who you are, which brings us to part 3, what you want to say versus what works, aka advertising or marketing. Ever since advertisers and marketers started trying to sell you stuff, they've been focused on what works. Don't call it a tax committee, call it the Ways and Means Committee, as George Carlin noted, who, by the way, railed against euphemisms his whole career. We don't call it toilet paper anymore, we call it bathroom tissue. Dr. Frank Luntz has built a career as a pollster and author, telling corporations and politicians which words to say and which words not to say. In his book, Words That Work, he talks about how he single-handedly changed the estate tax to the death tax, immediately changing public perception. Thanks to his data and research, he realized that while Americans didn't want to deny illegal immigrants emergency health treatment, they were largely in favor of not giving them treatment. He spent his whole career building the kind of euphemisms and subtle twists of language that comics like Carlin hated so much. When you follow Instagram influencers, they will often give you strategies for selling. Or when you buy an advertising or copywriting book from the 60s, you'll still see formulas like PPPP, picture, promise, prove, push, proven strategies that work to sell your audience's products or services. For many of us, the thought process stops at what works. If more people buy my product, it's a success. Full stop. We don't ask questions like, am I proud of this? Will my grandchildren be proud of this? Am I making the world a better place? So again, we have tension between what you might want to create, say poetry or comedy or musings, and what works, as in what motivates your audience to take a specific action that benefits you, like buying your shit. And I believe, like everything else in life, there are 3 levels here. Level 1 is ignorance. You don't know how to convince people of anything. Level 2 is that you learn what works. But level 3 is a conscious choice to either use or not use what works for the sake of a higher ideal. Call it philosophy, morals, ethics, or whatever else you like. But you can't argue that many people selling you stuff on social media got off the bus at level 2 and they never so much as considered level 3. So have we reached the point where we can draw a conclusion here? Survey says, banana split. What the hell's wrong with you people? All right, now just initial here and confirm your allotment of the funds from your bank account to mine. Can you initial here? Okay, fantastic, thanks. Conclusion, 3 concepts. 3 manifestations of the same dichotomy. In all cases, it's about what comes from within us versus what the world needs or wants. But it doesn't have to be ugly. Serving others is a noble pursuit. Considering others is a beautiful thing. Philosophers wrote texts in the hopes that it would benefit others. I wrote this with the hope that it would help you express yourself in a smarter way. Serving others is arguably the greatest thing any person can do ever. We are social creatures. So I'm not saying by any means that you should say whatever you want to say and completely ignore what might benefit the world. Far from it. Instead, I'm saying that if you're unaware of the second part of all 3 of these dichotomies, you are more than likely doomed to fail before you ever began. You need to be aware of what people want to buy, what people are searching for, and what works. And if you haven't considered these three things in your life, your creative pursuits, and in your business, it's really time you do. These could be the keys to unlocking growth and getting out of the stagnancy you've been experiencing. However, once you've mastered the concepts of product market fit, algorithmic content creation, and persuasive language, you can move on to level 3, a conscious choice to either use or not use these tools based on your own morality and ethics and goals. Sure, you could pull out all the stops to sell that 90-year-old war widow a used car at 25% above Blue Book value, or you could set that language aside and be a decent human being. Ultimately, the choice is yours.